guys, and welcome back to another episode of Empowering Intuitives Talk Show here on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. So it's really, really great to be back live. Life always sends us some twists and turns, and sometimes we have to take that downtime to go within and do the healing that we need to do before we can move forward and continue to be doing and serving spirit. So, sometimes you just got to do it, and you cannot serve from an empty cup for sure. So tonight I wanted to talk about something that is very near and dear to me, and something that spirit has been bringing forward a lot with these new energies. And it is about the power of our words. Let's think about this. Words are the most potent weapons in the world to humans. They can help, they can heal, they can destroy, they can hurt, right? They can do so many things. They can be positive and they can be negative. And, we have to remember that words are like dynamite, and we need to carefully choose our words. If they come from wisdom and understanding, they can be gentle, they can be very healing and compassionate and empathic. But if we send out to the ethers words of anger and resentment and self-pity, and then we wonder why life is so hard, we don't realize we're creating and co-creating our experiences, right? So if you're putting all of that negative out there, just think about this for a minute. Think about people that you know around you, that the words they select keep them in a loop of negativity. So, for example, what if somebody says, I just can't remember names? And you repeat that over and over and over. What happens? You meet people and you cannot remember their name. Instead of saying, I think I forgot, or, I'm doing better, I'm learning names, like trying to put a positive spin on it. In the past, I've struggled with names, but I'm doing much better. There, you put it in a positive. And, we just have to really self-monitor the mind, the internal chatter, the words that we choose to use into the universe. But think about it. Lots of people, as soon as I say this, lots of people come to mind about they're just that negative loop all the time. You could say, it's a beautiful sunny day. And they'll be like, yeah, but look at that cloud. And so it's sunny, but it's also hot. Like they just always go for a negative. So a single word has the power to influence our genetics. There is so much research about this. So, I know most people are familiar with Dr. Emoto's water study, right? And that was where they put words on water, and it actually changed the molecular structure of the water. And if you haven't heard about this, please Google this up. It is fascinating. And there's lots of other research. Some research was done where they put rice in two different jars, and people were to speak very negatively towards one and very positively towards another. The one that they spoke very negatively towards got all brown and wilted and spoiled, and the other was very light and fluffy and looked enticing. So think about this. When you're in a good mood, or you're around positive people that are saying positive words that have a higher vibration, we're energetic beings, right? And we thrive in that positive high vibration. So when you're around those people, don't you get excited when you're in their energy? Doesn't it amp up your energy, even if you're having a rough day? Versus the person that's very negative, and they can just try to pull you right down, can't they? And you can feel their despair or their negativity, their intensity. And people like that, you tend to be like, Okay, for me, I try to turn it into a positive, and if I see I'm not going anywhere with this person, I go okay, and I allow them to be where they need to be, and I just pull back a little bit my energy and go about my business because I don't want to be in that energy for a very long time. Because being a strong empath, we have to realize how sensitive we are to our environment and to the people around us. So I'll give you another good example. Listening to calming music, right? High vibrational music, instrumental music, that kind of stuff. What does that do for your energy? Versus real strong, and no offense to anybody that likes this music, but for me personally, as an empath, listening to really heavy screaming and all of that puts me on edge. It just, the energy of that is too intense, and then I don't like it. I don't like what it's doing to my arc field. I don't like how it feels. So pay attention to this. This is such powerful stuff that's around us 24 hours a day. We're all consumers, right? Of everything. Our entire environment we are consuming, whether we're aware of it or not. Think about in your own home. I grew up in a household that there was a lot of stress and yelling and slamming doors, and nobody was happy about anything. And there, it was just a volatile kind of environment. And so that causes you to be more standoffish, pull your energy back. It was hard to be in that energy for long periods of time. And we all felt it. We all wanted to be out of the house all the time. So, and we found ourselves in nature and around other people that were more calming, that could lift our spirits, right? That's where we tended to navigate. And we tended to do things like be in water, which was healing and cleansing, right? But the hardest part is not being calm, conditioned to the negative that you hear around you. And think about it. If you have a family that has a lot, they're just all negative. Everything is a negative, negative. What happens with the kiddos? They pick up the same things. They pick up the same traits. They're being conditioned to um, say more negative and to kind of be looking at the world through that negative aspect, right? And you'll hear the words and you'll be like, man, I hear your mother or your father right out of your own mouth, right? We're all conditioned to that as humans. But it's the ones that begin to identify they want something different, that can be an awakening to help shift it. And how you do that is by monitoring the words that you choose, the people that you hang around. And I know that's something that parents always say, you are who you associate with, but some of that is true, isn't it? Because your energy seems to match the other energy that you're around. Just something to think about, and think about maybe your past experiences or your experiences right now. One thing that we can do is positive affirmations, right? It has a huge impact on the way that you can experience the world. Because as you start to put more positive in your life, right? You begin to look and change the structure, your metaphysical structure, your physical and emotional stressors can shift to a more positive when you start putting positive affirmations and looking at things in a positive way. So let's think about that for a second. One of the people, when you think about positive affirmations, that comes to mind is Louise Hay, right? She's wrote many books, and a lot of people that have met her or been in a room with her can feel her energy. Was such a positive influencer that she practiced this daily of shifting her core beliefs, her view of the world and of people and of situations. And it programs you in that positive light. And it changes your vibration. It just changes your vibration. That's the best thing I can explain. And so think about this as well. Like when you're watching TV and you're watching the news and there's all this despair, what happens? It causes a lot more anxiety. And people don't know what to do with the anxiety because there's a sense of chaos. There's war going on. How like I can't even watch the news these days because it's so intense. And the media has the power through their words, what they show you, your visual. Um, Whenever they're showing you, well, we get this all through social media, through news, through everything, can be positive or negative. If there's negative over and over and over and over, it will bring your energy down. And if you don't believe me, try it. Try an experiment. Listen to the news every day. Start seeking out those kind of things and put those on your social media and start to see how you feel and how your energy shifts. Monitor yourself. Then get rid of all of that and put positive things. Surround yourself with people like on Facebook. You'll see on my Facebook, there's a lot of people that are spreading a lot of love and light and positivity. And there is some, um, there's not a lot of negativity on there because I'm not interested in surrounding myself. I want to be uplifted. I want to be with other people that are spreading the love, that are putting, there may be some controversial things that have you questioning, but it's not necessarily negative despair. It's more like, ponder this. It's more about philosophy and spirituality and why we're here and what are we doing and really exploring those things. But that's my personal interest. And if your interest is the news and doing all of that, that's perfectly fine. But do an experiment. Try to surround yourself with all positive for a while and see if that doesn't shift you. I like to also surround by positive words that positive affirmations and colors. And I associate positive with colors so that when I'm seeing colors, I'm also programming myself for positive instead of the negative aspects of the colors, right? And we talked about colors before. So there's so many ways that you can help program yourself to think more positive. One way I like to do it is through a gratitude jar. And this is such a fun experiment, is to just do for 30 days. Every day, write something in a positive aspect that you are grateful for. Just one thing every day. And it will help you start to be more grateful for the experiences in your life. And at the end of the 30 days, review it and see what comes up. You may see trends. I like to do it for the whole year. This is what I do. And on New Year's Eve, I spend some quiet time and I review that. And I just love the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the repeated patterns, and all of the things that I see. And I write the powerful words that I'm grateful for and why. Like I write myself a nice little couple sentences, right? But it reaffirms the shifts in my life. And I take note and I can notice year after year by doing this, I'm much more grateful for all things in my life, the positive and the negative experiences. I'm more grateful just to be here and to be through it and to be human and to be here at this time. And that wasn't the case 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, I'm old. So that wasn't the case many, many years ago. But it's fun to see your growth in these ways, in the ways that you're choosing to use your words. And, as I did that, Spirit just said, "Oh, so you're old." And I'm like, no, I was older. Yes, I heard myself say those words, right? So monitoring. So I love it when they do that to us because I personally ask Spirit to help me monitor when I'm saying something that's maybe more of a negative. I ask Spirit to point it out in the real time so that I can correct it right then and there. So remember, you have this beautiful divine team that's trying to help you be more successful. So ask them to help you monitor this. Ask them to help you find the positive words in a situation and see what they do for us, right? Okay, so I think we have a caller. All right, we have Janet in Winnipeg, Canada. Are you there, my dear? Uh-oh, I don't hear anybody. Is Janet with us from Canada? Okay, well, we'll wait till she can get on the line here, and we'll do a little reading tonight. So I'm excited since it's been a couple weeks. But so, if you haven't looked up Louise Hay, I highly recommend looking at some of her books. And she does a lot of, like, audiobooks are great if you travel a lot, like I do. So that can help you be more positive and pay attention to the music or things that you listen to. I find when I listen to audiobooks, I'm in a much happier mood, or I listen to lighter music. Um, Pay attention to the music that you listen to. Those words are very powerful. All right. Hi, Janet. Are you on the line, my dear?
Yes,
Hi. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing just well. Thank you very much. So, do you have a question or anything that maybe I can see what Spirit has to say about for you?
I just want to know about family matters, and I just want to know what really something like in the future for me with with when it comes to family matters.
Oh, for family matters. Okay. Okay, so let me just tap in here and see what Spirit has for us. So, as soon as I step into your energy, I feel like um, there's a strong core belief, whether you're religious or not. I feel like your connection to the divine is really important. And that may not be the same throughout the family, if that makes sense.
Yes,
And um, this can cause some unrest for you. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that, you know, um, I feel like big challenges have been coming for each single person in the family, and it's really hard because they're not wanting to listen. And I feel like this may have to do with, I see two. So I don't know if you have two children here that they're talking about, but one is a male and I feel one is a female. And I feel like a little headstrong, and they feel like they know the right thing to do, and it doesn't align with maybe what you think, or they're not appreciating your experience and knowledge, if that makes sense.
yes, that makes sense. And I think the one that you mentioned about a man and a woman is that my parents.
Hmm.
Yes,
And they really are just in their way of being, and they're not interested in any kind of change. And I feel like um I feel like a little decline in health, and it's very it's causing maybe behavioral changes, such as more anxiety, maybe more opposition, and not being cooperative with you with things, if that makes sense. And
yes, that makes sense. Did you see anything that they living with my sister right now? Did you see anything that really bothered them so much when they're inside the house?
I get with them, it's more about the aging process and things not um, they're not quite able to do the things that they want to do, and it's extremely unnerving, and it's a part of a going through that process of accepting where they are at now, and they want to just do what they want to do. In the house, I'm trying to see if there's anything in particular that is a problem within the house, and I gotta know. There's nothing in particular. Are you talking about maybe like a spirit or something that's going on in the house?
Not the spirit, but it was the people that they living inside the house.
I just get
Do
that
they
they want
Mhm.
more independence and they want to do what they want to do, and they're really not happy being in that home. And it would be an ideal situation if they could have like their own place on the property or something, but not right in the home. They wouldn't have their own home like that. Like they don't like the environment, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Did
And
they
I don't know
treating
that there's
right?
another outcome, and they're trying to figure out how to be okay with that. And they're just struggling. I feel like maybe some issues getting around, and you have to be careful. And I feel, especially with dad, he's been stumbling a little bit more. So just be careful. I don't know if it, but it's more of a, they just really don't like being there, and they want to have their own place, they want to do their own thing, and they just can't do it, is what I'm getting. I'm asking if there's anything else about this. Is there an alternative for them? Is there an alternative for maybe somebody else um for them to move in with? Is there an alternative that you haven't thought of yet, spirit's bringing up? There may be an alternative for you here.
Yes. Whatever happened to them, um, whatever happened inside the house, do you think, did you see any male and a woman that's really tricking them when it comes to financial?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Um, what I'm trying to say is that, did you see any vibes that there's someone in the house, a man and a woman, that tricking them when it comes to their financials?
Oh, their financials, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like um they are taking over, and your parents don't like that either. So they feel like they're being micromanaged financially, as far as what they have to eat. Like they feel like they don't have any freedom to be who they are and to live the way they want to live. So yes, I do feel like there is a lot of power that your parents have lost living where they're living. And
Okay.
so if there could be an alternative, I feel like it would be better for them, but I still don't feel like they could manage their money. But there's a way of doing it that it's not degrading to them. There's a way of still paying bills and doing what you need to do, but allowing them money to spend on whatever they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Is this someone
And they're
stealing their
not,
money?
I'm
Uh,
sorry?
Is there someone stealing their money?
I wouldn't say stealing their money, but they are using their money. Yes. I feel like I don't know if they're charging them or taking a portion of things, but they're taking their money. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And my parents suspected that way.
Yeah. So if it was like, say, they agreed on a few $100s a month, they're taking more, and yeah, and they're aware of it. I don't, I feel like if they can be out of that environment, it would be better. So I
Okay.
don't know if there's another alternative that you can try to come up with for them, but I do feel like it will give them more peace of mind if they can be out of that household.
Okay.
But
And
unfortunately,
mhm,
like I feel like there is a way to do it, like even like assisted living. But your parents, part of it is also your parents' perception of it, because like if you go like assisted living, they take a lot of your money as well, you see. And so
yeah,
they wouldn't be happy with that either, because part of their mindset is they just want to continue to like live independent and just take care of things. And part of it is just the process they have to go through in order to accept this stage in their life. So there's a couple things at play here, if that makes sense.
yes, that makes sense.
But if somebody could manage this in a more positive way, you could find the happy medium there.
Yes, that's right. And did you see any trouble?
I do see that you have to be careful with dad falling. I do feel like that is something to be aware of and bring up, and make sure that he's wearing good shoes, because he may not always. I feel like he likes to wear slippers or something that he slips on versus tying up, and that could be a problem for him. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I wish you all the best. I'm going to send some love and light around this situation, that it works out for the highest good. Thank you so much for calling in, my dear, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. And I thank you guys for tuning in this week. And I hope that with this new moon and the energies that are coming, that you set some positive intentions and put your powerful, positive words out there to make it work for you. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Namaste.